Hey, Ross.
Yes?
I've been looking over your character sheet.
Uh, which one?
Your character sheet. And I've noticed that level 4, level 8, level 12 are blank.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the one you're talking about for the one-shot? Yeah, I was thinking about doing playing this character, but I don't know what... I haven't decided... Right now I'm still in the theory crafting stage of how to build them.
Alright, well, conveniently for you, I've just checked my schedule. And my doctor has prescribed to me, approved or not, Valda Spire of Secrets feats.
Disclaimer, neither of us are actual medical professionals, if you haven't actually listened.
Alright, so
Anyway, Valda's Spire
we have
Secrets,
spent
that...
we have spent the last I don't even know how many months looking at Valda's Spire of Secrets, everything else. We've looked at the subclasses, we've looked at the classes and their subclasses. We only really have feats, starter feats, which is a special new mechanic.
Spells and racial options.
Releases. Yes. So let's get down to business and look at the feats. Battle Adept.
Let's get started. So,
you get a battle die, which is a d6.
okay.
If you have a battle die from anything else, and then the maneuver. Okay, so this is just the maneuvers from the battle. I guess it's fine.
Yeah, this is...
These maneuvers aren't crazy good.
This is connected to all the subclasses that use battle dice. I'm at...
Alright, we got Bounty Hunter.
Hold on. Are we just going regular approved?
Yeah, approved.
Okay. Bounty Hunter. What is it? So,
by the way, I want to be clear, these are going to be quick. These are going to be snappy.
Right. That's why I have it copied.
When there's a price and someone at the end, like, increase your wisdom score by 1. Okay.
Cool.
You perfectly remember the name and face of every person you've met.
Okay. So, you're taking a little bit of the, whatchamacallit feat.
Keen Mind.
Yeah, Keen Mind.
You can use your action to mark a creature you can see within 120 feet of you for 1 hour. You have advantage on any perception checks
or
survival checks you make to find the marked creature. As long as they are marked, you can determine whether or not the creature has passed through a location. You can have only one creature marked at a time.
Okay.
Whenever you use a creature to 0 hit points with any attacks you make or spell that you cast, you can choose to knock the creature out instead of killing it.
I don't think that
Alright, this is a lot, so I'm not too What?
I don't think that last part is exactly that necessary because...
Ross.
Oh?
This is the strongest part of the feat.
Can you explain? Because when I look at this, especially with our table, because we could choose to go attack non-lethally.
To be clear, there are limits.
Okay.
This means that you can use Fireball and not worry.
Okay. I see.
Yeah, this is why you take this feat. If you are someone who wants to be a non-lethal, like Kyrgios character in the Guild, as an example.
Yeah. Okay.
It gives them options for non-lethal that can still do some crazy things. That being said, there is something else I want to call attention to. The feat is approved, for the record.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's costing your action and not adding anything crazy.
This right here.
What?
It's time for a more subdued game. No, it's not worth it. It's not worth the game because it's not really shit. But it is a bad ability. Perfectly counteracted by the Elder stuff that's actually good.
Thanks.
The issue is that this only lasts an hour.
Yeah.
In most cases that you are tracking somebody,
it's gonna be longer than an hour.
Correct.
Like, I imagine this as more of a... Because of how big the range is, which is pretty generous, I consider this to be a lot more of a... We're currently in, like, a chase. Like, I'm thinking...
but
remember the chase that Brunhild and...
You know what, Ross? A chase. That's a good example. Ross. That's kind of part of the issue. So, you are chasing somebody. And they are 120 feet away from you.
Yeah.
But you can see them. Do you, A, use your action to do this, or B, use your action to dash.
Dash.
Honestly, I feel like it depends on the campaign, or not the campaign, but it depends on our surrounding. Because
I am
let's say in my example piece, we are in a crowded city, and sure, we can like see them in the crowd pretty clearly because we recognize every person we see. However, what if they go through the crowd and go like through an alley, and it can go multiple different directions, but with our advantage on survival, we could tell that they went down into the sewer.
That's great, Ross, but there is an issue. And the issue is why this is a bad ability.
Okay.
Mechanically, nothing is stopping the person you are chasing from, or nothing is actually the other way around. Nothing is forcing them to stop. That means you need to actively do something to close the distance. And unless there is something that will stop them, you cannot do that. 120 feet happens to be on the edge of what you can reasonably see.
That is
Meaning
fair.
if you let them get farther than 120 feet from you, even with this ability in effect, you will lose them. And catching up to them will be beyond what this ability can allow you to do. Other things can, but this ability cannot.
Right.
My
no,
issue with this is it is
track
useless
someone.
for the... Yeah, it is useless for the purpose it is for. Now, I'm not going to say it's completely utterly useless. Maybe you can do it as stealth. They don't know you're there.
Right.
But even so, like I said, the rest of the feat makes up for this, so I'm not too concerned it's approved.
I'm also thinking about because there's nothing inherently in here that says that it specifically like the creature knows it's been marked by you.
Correct. That's why I said it's good for stealth potentially.
Yes. Yeah. Let's see.
But beyond that, brutal grip.
+1 to strength.
All right, and when wielding a versatile weapon in one hand, you can use the two-handed damage die.
Okay, so for
you can wield the two-handed melee weapon in one hand, treating it as a one-handed weapon. You have disadvantage on attack rolls made when wielding a two-handed weapon this way.
Okay, so let's say my character in Out of the Abyss, for example. If I had this feat, I would be able to, if I wanted to, I could use a D10 for the damage die instead of a D8. However, the attack roll would be at disadvantage.
Correct.
It's okay.
Carrying right along.
I'm guessing your opinion is the same.
It's approved.
Yeah.
It's approved.
It's okay.
You're spending a feat on it.
Yeah. Any ability to cast a cantrip.
You learn 2 War Mage tricks from among the following.
Oh, hey, extra tricks.
Yeah. I guess that's fine. These aren't crazy is the issue.
Yeah, so far none of these have been crazy. But maybe Chronomancy Initiate will be.
I know, I was talking anyways. Spellcasting or pack magic, having unraveled the thing's time matter chronomancy. All spells with the chrono are added to your class's spell list. If they are a level which your class gets spells, use your spellcasting ability for this.
So it's added to our list, but it's not our prepared. So this works similar to the
yeah.
So okay.
Yes. You learned the moment to think cantrip, which doesn't count against your number of cantrips known. I believe we had thoughts on that cantrip. I don't think we liked it.
We did. I don't believe we liked it either. But
I believe this is banned, so unfortunately ignore that.
Yeah.
You learn 4 spells of your choice that you cast with the current stack. If you spells, these spells are always prepared for you and don't count against the number of blah blah. If you're a wizard, they're added to your spell at no cost. If you learn these spells, don't count. These spells don't count against spells. When you gain levels in spellcasting class, you can replace one of these spells with yeah, this is very basic. This is fine.
Okay.
Just keep in mind you don't learn the moment to think because we banned it.
Maybe we can use a spell to compensate, but I don't know like
diligent.
Yeah.
It's not important.
Yeah. Diligent.
With a few minutes of preparation, a bit of improvisation, and some talent, you can appear pretty much. When you finish a long rest, you can spend 10 minutes practicing with a simple or martial weapon, skill, or tool, or in the use of a cantrip from the wizard's spell list. You gain proficiency with that weapon, skill, or tool, or you learn the cantrip until you finish a long rest. Intelligence,
Wisdom or charisma
wisdom, or
would
charisma is your
be.
spell ability. For this cantrip, choose when you select this cantrip.
So
So
we have a versatile skill proficiency that we can change on. What is it? Long rest?
cantrip is strong, but it's a cantrip, so I'm not too concerned.
Yeah, it's cantrip. This would be really nice if you're going full out skill monkey as a rogue.
Yeah, and no, you're not wrong. Anyways,
That's cool.
Downcaster.
It's
This one was I'm curious about.
Downcaster.
If you learn a spell, if you learn spells, you learn 4 spells of your choice of 3rd level or lower from your class's spell list, which don't count ones you know.
Your spell. So you're not, as a wizard, you're not grabbing Spirit Guardians, for example.
If you are a wizard management, these spells must be a level of which you have spell slots. You can use your action to divide a spell slot of 5th or lower into 2 or more lower level spell slots whose combined level is equal to or less than the original slot's level. Any spell slot you create with this feat vanishes when you recover spell slots after a short or long rest.
So, okay, if I'm understanding this, so we're not downcasting the spells.
Spells.
So
Yeah.
we're not because when I think of downcaster or downcasting spells, I'm not thinking this. I'm thinking let's do fireball for example. If we reduce it down to a 2nd level, it would reduce the damage dice equal to how much it would normally gain when you increase.
Yeah, no, that's not what we're doing.
Yeah, that's not what
I'm
we're
gonna
doing.
say this is fine, but put an asterisk next to it to be able to look at anyone plays it, because I'm not 100% sure.
I think we'd have to see it in action.
Yeah.
Asterisks. Will keep an eye on. Early riser.
By following a strict routine, you become accustomed to resting less than others. You gain the full benefits of taking a long rest in only 4 hours. You gain the full benefits of taking a short rest in only 30 minutes.
Okay.
Additionally, you regain all your expended hit dice rather than half of them when you finish a long rest. I don't think I can allow this.
We've seen a good number of not good number. We've seen like a couple of times where the short rest, the long rest, you regain a majority of your dice back.
That honestly, the short rest is the big one for me,
Within
and it's the thing that stopped me from allowing it.
Honestly, we could just remove that the 30-minute thing. Like the short rest part entirely, not.
Yeah, I guess we could do that.
Cause like,
but yeah.
Also, I want to bring up, you're losing half of this feature if you're any race that has.
You're right. You're right. That's actually why I can't ban it, which is the annoying part.
Right.
I'm gonna be honest, I super don't like this feat, but I am obligated to allow it. But ignore all short rest features are no.
Okay. Yeah, I will.
Exotic mastery approved. Rest. You can use exotic weapons. Moving on.
Features. So that's just exotic weapon stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
You are. You can cast a 5th level. When you cast your, you can be impressive visual effect. Or when you cast your using your link readers because you still one level higher. Your favorite spell can't be counter spell. You can cast your favorite spell once on its lowest level without using a spell slot. Once you use this ability, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest.
Wait. So we choose a spell.
No.
5th level or lower. You can wait. Oh, you could take the seed multiple times. Okay, so I thought you could cast it multiple times.
Yeah. Okay. No. The big thing about this. So let me. I will bring up what you do. I will show. And you know what, Ross?
Okay.
We haven't done a game yet today, so we have to do a game.
Yeah, we got to do a game, and I'm like still reading the. So we have a little harmless effect.
Let me know when you're done, and then I will challenge you.
When you cast your favorite spell using a spell slot, you can treat it as if it's using a slot of 1 level or higher, up to a maximum of 9th. Wait, so. But wait, that wouldn't make sense of it having a 9th upper limit because the highest we can go with this is a 5th level slot. So at most it's 6th level.
You can cast a 5th level spell at a higher spell slot.
Oh, I see. Oh. Good, you know, good point. Good point. Okay.
Anyways,
Let's see. Your favorite
I
spell
will just
can't be counter spell. Oh, wow.
yeah. I will just tell you straight up, I am banning this feat.
I'm assuming
A
it's the fact
cup.
that it can't be counter spell.
Dang it! You ruined the game.
Oh.
You can at least wait till I challenge you.
Sorry.
Yeah. To be clear, the other things are also bad enough that I'm not pushed to allow it. But the counter spell is the tipping point where I'm like, I'm not even going to work on this one.
Yeah, I don't exactly see the. Honestly, remove that counter spell thing, and I think this would be fine enough.
No, again, I think the free upcast can be game breaking. Here's what you do, Ross. Here's what you do. You pick counterspell as your favorite spell,
That is a pretty good one.
or dispel magic. That is just one of the many ways this is broken.
I would say not as much for dispel magic, because I don't normally see as many like DCs for dispel magic. But I also have
I
not
will
used
just
dispel
let
magic
you
a lot.
know, dispel magic has a lot more utility than counterspell. Coming directly in handy and being useful, dispel magic is more likely than counterspell.
Right.
That being said, my point in all this is the free upcast is bad, and not being able to counter it is even worse. Unfortunately, this is not allowed.
I mean,
But we got more to do.
I was gonna say my thought process if I were to do something with this, remove the counterspell part. I agree with you. That part should not exist. Have the other part be similar to the last part where you can cast it once for free. This part you can only upcast your favorite spell once.
I feel at that point we're just. Also, Ross, that wording is horrible.
What, my wording or the wording of this?
Your wording. Your wording.
You know what I mean.
I know what you do, but if we've learned anything at this point when looking at D&D stuff, you can't go by that. But yeah, it's banned. I am
That's fair.
not currently in the mood to make exceptions.
Fickle
Fortune. Whenever you roll a 10 or lower on the D20, you record it. For an attack roll, or ability check or saving throw.
You roll the d20s.
Roll the d20s for advantage and physical and record them. If you roll 10 or lower 3 or more times consecutively, you can immediately change the d20 roll to a 20. If this was an attack roll, it doesn't score a critical hit. Okay, once you use this feat to change the d20 roll, discard your... What?
Wait. So...
Give me a second, Ross. I need to reread this.
Wait, whenever you record...
Okay, no. Record whenever you roll a 10 or lower on the d20 for an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw.
Roll the d20s.
Roll the d20s for advantage and disadvantage sequentially and record them in order. Okay, this is just telling us what to do if we have advantage or disadvantage.
Okay.
If you roll 10 or lower 3 or more times consecutively, you can immediately change the d20 roll to a 20. But it does not crit.
So insert scenario time. The guild. The combat I had.
Yes,
think
it would trigger.
I think I rolled 2 9s and an 8.
Okay, but I actually want to state. Allow this. We need to go back and if everyone wants to use this, change the wording.
Allow.
It is written so bad.
If used, we will change the wording.
Carrying right along. Under your leadership, your charisma goes by 1. Field commander, by the way, has an action you can issue an order for now.
Let's see.
Use action to take one of the following actions while you're within 5 feet of 2 or more allies in the class. It costs to have advantage on attack. Can't have advantage on attack rolls against you. Okay, this is fine.
Cool.
Focused critical. Yeah, approved without thought.
Yeah, no, that's one where I was disappointed.
let's be a gambler.
Let's go
You
gambling.
get proficiency in
dang
all
it. Oh, dang
gaming
it.
sets. Once on each of your turns before you roll damage, you can place stakes on the roll.
Oh.
Choose less than the average, or higher than or equal to the average. Roll as normal. If you chose extra correctly, you can add an extra die of damage roll. If you chose wrongly, you got to remove the damage die with the highest number.
That is
Approved, and I actually really like this one.
That is fun. That is a fun one. Gun Mage Adapt. That is a name. Okay. So
Which, by the way, for the record, this could end up in a scenario where you roll 0 damage.
theoretically, yeah.
Yeah.
Gun Mage.
You learned how to meld with fire. You gain proficiency with your 4 simple or martial firearms. You can use firearms. Out spells with the resonance tag are added to your spells class. Your class, if they are a level for which your class gets spell slots, use your blah blah. You learn either the concealed shot or finger cantrip. You learn 4 spells of your choice that you can cast with the resonance tag. You print the spells. This is lame.
I'm also
Like, this is fine, but it's super lame.
Yeah, I think in this book, because we heard about chronomancy, I don't think we've heard a single thing in this book about a residence tag spell, and I'm curious what those spells tend to be.
Renaissance. That's the word.
Renaissance. Either way.
Anyways, Hexer, this is the one Kiri took, so
Yep.
you know I already approved it.
Yep, which I'm
You
assuming...
get 2 hexes from among those witch class and gain the cackle feature from which class use a charisma save in terms of class, so this is the hexes.
Oh, so it just gives us the main class feature, so we could be...
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Homebrewer.
Let's see.
You get proficiency with alchemist supplies.
Okay.
You can brew potions 10 minutes. Oh, this is just the... Oh, this is the... what's they called? The
number... Yeah, this is just the...
number of
feature
reagents, which are
alchemist.
10s, yeah. You gain all spending reading dice when you finish a long rest. You can expend your reading dice to... Yeah, we know this.
Yeah, I guess...
It's fine.
Yeah.
Your results just did it when all hope is lost. You gain the fun benefits. When you're attacked by a creature that has a CR higher than your level, you get a +2 bonus to your attack roll. You have advantage on attack rolls against any creature that has reduced one of your allies to 0 hit points in the last round.
I remember this.
If a hostile creature you can see takes a legendary action, you can use your reaction to intercede to prevent the legendary action from happening. I had thoughts about this.
Yeah, the only reason why we know of this one is the fact that Valda's released a book that's for 2024 onto D&D Beyond. And this feat was in it, and I was so shocked that I was like, I literally immediately checked in the book. I was talking to players. I was like, is this in this book?
Was it worded differently in the D&D Beyond? I think it kind of was a bit.
I want to say it was. I have D&D Beyond.
I will say, as I said to them, I am not a fan of being able to just outright interrupt legendary actions.
I don't know if I had this thought when we first talked about it, but do you want something we could do?
Mm-hmm.
Treat it in a similar vein as Counterspell, and maybe
Well, again,
DC could be based on the challenge rating. Maybe I don't know.
No. I'm going to tell you right now a hard stance on this. No, I will tell you why.
No.
Legendary actions exist to serve a purpose.
Oh, they absolutely do. Right. Right.
And,
when I'm saying that, that's like a stretch change.
Yes. So let me explain. Let me actually finish because this is important for video. Because this is still a video.
Yep.
So even if you understand, let's make sure people understand. So, the purpose of legendary action is to make combat fair. The idea should be that if something of a decently high CR has legendary actions, I can just put it in front of you, and it would be a challenging fight.
Yep.
Doesn't need minions. Well, still have, but doesn't need them.
Right. Exactly.
Some things only get one legendary action. Removing legendary actions, period, like at all, could basically mean that something instantly loses a fight.
Fun fact, because I pulled up the feat.
Mm-hmm.
They changed it, and I would argue they buffed it. You can use this. You could do this a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus per long rest, which I would consider that a buff.
Yes, I remember we were talking about that when I told you I wouldn't allow it, and I'm still not allowing it. So it's clear.
Which is
the other features are fine. The other two things are fine. So, Iron Hero, the third ability is disallowed.
Oh, we're just doing the third one. Okay.
Yeah, no, the rest is fine.
Approved, banned. I'm just gonna banned the third. God, can I type?
Third ability. We are on the home stretch, by the way.
God, okay.
You got this.
I feel dumb. How do you spell third?
THIRD.
IRD. Okay, I was wondering, like, where the fuck am I spelling this? Ability from it. Okay, we got Marksman Luck.
Once per turn, when you roll for damage with a ranged weapon, you can flip one of the damage dice over and use the number on the bottom. You can't use this ability on D4s. Note, for a balanced die, the top and bottom numbers add up to one more than the die's largest number. As an example, if I grab my D12 here, I got 9, and then at the bottom is 4. That's 13. Ah! I dropped my D12.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a ranged weapon that uses a D4.
Daggers.
Oh yeah, I guess that would be a ranged weapon.
Correct. Anyways, this is approved. This is fine.
Yeah, that's basically a reroll. A master thrower.
You are an expert in using thrown weapons. You gain the following benefits. When you take the attack action on your turn, you can use a bonus action to make a ranged attack with a thrown weapon. No ability modifiers to the damage unless that modifier is negative. When you make a ranged weapon attack, you can draw the weapon. You can draw the weapon as part of the attack. You can draw any number of weapons in this fashion each round. The short and long ranges of your thrown weapons double.
Okay.
This is fine.
Yeah, I mean it's thrown weapons. The only thing I have a question about that one is, if I were to, let's say, have dual wielder, which normally adds your modifier to the secondary attack of a bonus action.
No, it would not. It would not.
No?
No, because dual wielder is specifically interacting with dual wielding. This is an entirely different thing entirely, but this is similar.
Okay.
Precognitive.
Let's see,
when you begin your turn, you can choose to roll a d20 and record the number rolled. The next attack roll, ability check, or save that you make before the end of your turn is replaced with this roll.
Okay.
You can use this ability 3 times and regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. This is fine, although it's kind of weak, but I guess the idea here is you roll the d20, and then you make your plan based on that. It's fine.
Here's the thing. I'm leaning towards disagreeing with you, actually, because the next. I didn't see.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Because I was gonna say, so wait, you get 3 d20s that work exactly like Divination Wizard, but I did not.
No.
You understand where I was like, wait.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, no. Without the word next, I would be at the same boat as you.
Yeah.
Showman.
I mean, the show must go on.
After all, there's a little charisma, goes efficiency performance. If there is a non-combative audience watching you fight, once per turn, you gain a bonus to an ability check or attack roll equal to the number of people in the audience. Up to a maximum of your charisma modifier, you can use this ability 3 times, gaining all expended uses when you finish long rest. I need to point out,
this is very.
This feat will either this is a very specific campaign or this feat just not coming up.
I was just like, this is very similar to the hobgoblin. Hobgoblin.
I am going to put Showman out of proof of that thought.
Yeah, I agreed. I think in the right campaign.
Hellblade. Eventually with a martial, when you deal bludgeoning action, you can change the name type to one of these. You get some cantrips, and you cast the shield spell.
Cool.
This is fine. It's not crazy. Upcaster.
Yeah.
You can expend 2 spell slots of the same level to create a spell slot that is 1 level higher, and immediately use the spell slot to cast a spell that or have prepared. That's interesting.
The fact that so you can't just stockpile them up immediately.
Correct.
You have to use it immediately. So
the big thing here, Ross, is that there is a bad return for your buck here.
It depends.
Anyways.
I think it depends on the spell.
No, I don't mean that way. I don't mean that way. I mean, if you look at downcasting, you can get even, but upcasting. 2 are the same level to create a spell slot that is 1 level higher. 2 first will get us a second, 2 seconds will get us a third, 2 thirds will get us.
I see. So you're saying that upcaster and downcaster cannot make like an infinite chain, basically.
Correct, which is good.
Which
So,
good, very very good.
I will say, I will approve, because I think there are times where you want to use this, although I will note that this thing has very clear limitations. As an example, 7th, 8th, and 9th
are just not possible to do, because they have to be of an equal level.
Correct. Which is clever. So, approved, but keep things in mind. And with that, well, I think those are all the feats, but some would argue, next time, we're just getting started.
Thank you guys for watching, and as always, stay tuned for more. Bye-bye.